Okay, so what we have here is a mixture of coffee, lots of sugar, and hot chocolate. Yeah. Why is this relevant? Well, I need it to stay awake while playing Quest 64. You know what this needs? This needs like Red Bull or some kind of energy drink, perhaps Rockstar. Like, it's just not doing it. It just can't cut it. Quest 64 is too damn boring. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. For those who don't know, Quest 64 was the first traditional RPG for the Nintendo 64. And it was the last traditional RPG until Paper Mario. Needless to say, RPG fans did not have a lot of options. So if they were smart, they probably would have just got a PlayStation or stuck with their Super Nintendo. I mean, Paper Mario is great, but aside from that, Quest 64 and maybe 2 or 3 other titles, that's it. In Quest 64, you play as Brian, an apprentice magician. His master is missing, and he has to go find him. Oh, you thought there'd be like a real story. No, no, not in this game. I mean, it's an RPG, you know, a genre well known for its detailed stories and well-developed character arcs. But no, we're not gonna worry about that. This is literally lifted right from a Super Mario Bros. Game. This plot is paper thin. And there are no twists. There are no turns. What you see is what you get. But maybe there are some nice subplots or stories going on in the background. No, you go to a village, you find out that something is missing. The king says, oh, the earth orb has been kidnapped by the thief. I do believe he's in the forest. So you go to the forest, you beat the thief, you return the orb, and the king says, thank you, here's a treasure for your trouble. Okay, cool, whatever. You go to the next town. Looks like we're missing the wind orb. Please, you have to go into the caves and find it. Rinse, repeat. And the environments are boring. I mean, you got generic town, generic field, generic forest, generic caves. It's just so boring and plain. And look at these NPCs. They're so uninspired. I mean, they got no distinctive features at all. And the enemies, oh my god. Oh, Goblin, Killer Rose. Yep, Killer Rose. Ooh, a were-rabbit. Ooh, Death Hound. The ones we haven't seen in a million other games are all dumb. Even the graphics are bland. It's just flat colors. Boring landscapes. No creativity at all. Hey look, I'm exploring a castle. Empty room. Empty room. Empty room. Not only are the rooms empty, they're all the same exact room. Did anyone care? Did anyone think that maybe they could add a bit of variety? They could have maybe just one original thought. No, not in Quest 64. Not here. But we must be fair here. There are a few good things about this game. The battle system, although awkward, does have potential. I like the idea that it feels real-time while still being turn-based. The battlefield is made of one giant octagon. Each enemy has their own area of movement, as do you. During your turn, you can choose to use an item, use a magic spell, or, if you're close enough, directly attack the enemy. So you make your move, then the enemy makes his move. At that point, the octagon has once again centered on your character. So if you move to the left, the octagon moves to the left. And if you move it outside the giant octagon, you have the chance to escape the battle. And keeping your distance from enemies can sometimes be a useful tactic. So if you're far away from the enemy and you use your wind spell, you can do damage to them, but they might not be able to reach you with their attacks. And if you're not moving fast enough, you can cast your own spells to increase defense or agility, or you can restrict their movement. There is a lot of innovation in the battle system. It's like they put all their work into this. And it's not perfect, there are flaws, but it's different. It's actually somewhat interesting. I'm going to step over my words for a second. I said that the game is very cliche and boring, and that holds true, but it does differ from traditional RPGs in some ways. Unfortunately, these things often work against it. For instance, there's no money. You don't collect gold or coins or any kind of currency in your quest. Instead, you rely on charity, so you'll go to the market and the owner will say, "Oh, you look hungry. Here's some fresh bread," which can be used to recover your HP. Cool, freebies, awesome. Can I have more? No. You might find some more fresh bread in battle, but probably not. The game is very stingy about giving away free power-ups. But hey, there are other power-ups in chests along the way. But once you open them and retrieve the treasures, they stay open forever, which you'd expect, but it really sucks when you're clearing through an area, killing enemies, die, go back to the previous city, and then have to clear the enemies again, except this time without the benefit of having power-ups. And the whole experience system is really weird. As you fight and take damage, your HP increases, your defense increases. The more you attack, the more your power increases. If you use spells, your magic increases. But there's no way to tell where you are. You can't see, 100 points to next level or something like that. No, you just kind of gotta fight around and hope you get better. And Brian can use 4 different types of spells, the different elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. This is cool, and each spell type has 4 sub-spells, which you learn as you progress through the game. The problem I found was that I was getting killed constantly, because I was trying to upgrade everything equally. But if you want to do that, you have to grind the hell out of this game. Seriously, I was doing okay until I got to the forest, which is fairly early on, and then I got creamed. The only way I managed to beat this area was to totally focus on wind. Why wind? Well, then I could keep my distance and stay away from the psychotic frogmen and marionettes and other boring, uninspired monsters. Any other RPG I've ever played, as long as you kill every enemy along the way, you'll be fine. So why do I have to sit around and slaughter hippos all day? Oh, and look at this, I'm beating up little girls with a stick. I guess they do have some original enemies. I mean, who are these girls? Why are they constantly shuffling around their knees? Why are they trying to freeze me? And why is the ice spell so annoying? I guess what I'm getting at is that Quest 64 is playable. It works, it functions, it's not good. That's all there is to it. And I've used these words a lot. It's unoriginal, it's boring, it's bland, it's plain. They all mean the same thing. They all perfectly describe this, Quest 64. Even the title should give you a hint. I mean, Quest 64? Quest, yeah, because on RPGs you're always going on quests. And 64, because, it's on the Nintendo 64. Not fun, guys. But hey, if you have trouble sleeping, give it a try. I mean, give it 10 minutes. You'll be sleeping like a baby. I think I have some paint drying, in the other room. I might go watch that.